In a small village surrounded by dense, dark forests, there stood an old, abandoned house that had been isolated for decades. The locals avoided going near it, especially at night, because of the terrifying stories told about it. They said the house was haunted, and strange whispers and the creaking of doors could be heard from inside without any logical explanation. Even animals avoided the area. One dark night, a group of adventurous friends, 4 in total, decided to explore the house to prove that all these stories were just myths. They were skeptical and believed that fear was what made people invent such tales. They prepared themselves with flashlights and cameras and headed to the house. When they arrived, they stood in front of the old wooden door, which was half open. The wind was howling around them, and the trees seemed to loom over the house. They entered cautiously, and the first room was filled with dust and broken old furniture. The air was unnaturally cold, even though it was warm outside. As they wandered around, they began to hear faint whispers coming from all directions. They tried to convince themselves it was just their imagination, but the whispers became clearer. Suddenly, Sarah, one of the friends, felt a cold touch on her shoulder. She turned quickly, but no one was there. Fear began to creep into their hearts. Then, they heard the sound of heavy footsteps coming from the upper floor. The sound was clear, as if someone was walking above them. They decided to go up to investigate, but the flashlight started flickering and then went out completely. Darkness surrounded them, and only the faint moonlight seeping through the broken windows remained. At that moment, they heard a distant scream coming from the next room. They tried to escape, but the front door suddenly slammed shut, as if an invisible hand had grabbed it. They pushed the door with all their strength, and just as they managed to open it, they heard a sinister laugh echoing behind them. When they got outside, they turned to look at the house and saw a shadow standing in the upper window. The shadow appeared to be a tall figure with red eyes glowing in the dark. They ran away from the house and didn't stop until they reached their homes. From that day on, they never spoke of what happened, but they never returned to that house. And the shadow in the window, no one knew who or what it was.